Contrast the juxtaposition from how he handled his post-game press conference after his first preseason action versus Shedeur.
Shedeur moved the offense or whatever. I thought that his performance was slightly better than Dillon Gabriel. That's just me, guys. Well, to me, it was Shedeur. I didn't see any interceptions when he was out there. I didn't see anything like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think Dillon Gabriel did a bad job. I was impressed with the brother, but I'm going to go with Shedeur. You know, the pressure was on him. The spotlight was on him. He showed up out on the field. You know, he played better than expected, reminded everybody who he is and what he brings to the table. I liked it.
Dillon Gabriel's costly fumble, paired with his sharp remarks about Shedeur Sanders, has pushed the Browns right back into the spotlight. Pressure is building fast, and the fan base is making its voice heard louder than ever, demanding that Shedeur Sanders finally gets his shot to start against the Cincinnati Bengals. Before we break down everything happening behind the scenes, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. Your support really helps us keep bringing you more content just like this. Right now, the fans aren't just asking politely, they're rallying together with full force, putting the heat directly on Kevin Stfansky. This isn't light criticism anymore. It's a serious wave of frustration. After sticking with Dillon Gabriel in the last game, many are questioning Stfansky's choices and whether he's handling the quarterback situation the right way. What's even more interesting is his hesitancy to directly address the Shedeur Sanders debate, leaving everyone wondering what his true stance really is.
Will you also set the pecking order following, meaning quarterback 2, 3, and 4, or will there be a competition right through Cincinnati week?
Yeah, well, I'll talk to we'll have the team in tomorrow, so I'll be able to talk through a bunch of different things with our players. But in terms of, you know, where people are, first string, second string, those type of things, not really thinking about that right this minute.
At his latest press conference, Kevin Stfansky didn't look like his usual composed self. The long pauses, the shaky responses, it all showed just how uneasy he was when the quarterback situation came up, especially once Shedeur Sanders' name got mentioned. Reporters pressed him on why he's planning to play the regular starter in the third preseason game this year, something he avoided doing last season. But instead of giving a clear explanation, his response only raised more questions. His exact words were, "We do what the players need." That answer hasn't done much to settle the debate. If anything, it's added fuel to the fire. Stfansky still looks reluctant to give Shedeur a fair shot, but at the same time, he's being careful not to speak too negatively about him, probably because he realizes the fans actually have a strong case.
So your quarterback didn't play?
Last year?
Yeah, Watson.
Yeah.
And the uncertainty from Stfansky didn't end there. When asked point blank about the quarterback situation, his response was short and vague. "We'll decide in a couple of days." But let's be real. Nobody truly believes a head coach can settle on his starting quarterback in just 2 days. That's not a strategy. It's stalling. And fans aren't fooled by it. What's becoming clearer is that the fan base knows their voices are making an impact. The louder and more united they get, the more pressure lands on Stfansky's shoulders. At some point, he may be forced to admit what so many are already saying, that Shedeur Sanders deserves a much stronger place on the depth chart.
What do you plan to do at quarterback for the dress rehearsal game, and what is the timeline for naming Week 1 starter?
Yeah, I want to get through the next couple days, but certainly that's something that we're going to do here sooner than later.
Dillon Gabriel's recent remarks have only made things worse, cranking up the pressure on the Browns even further. It's no longer just the fans speaking out. Now analysts are chiming in too, and many believe Shedeur Sanders has already shown more upside than Gabriel. Chris Canty, for one, didn't pull any punches. He highlighted that Shedeur's very first outing proved he could carry himself with confidence both on and off the field, something Gabriel has struggled to do. In Canty's eyes, Shedeur has already done enough to deserve a much larger role on this roster.
Compare and contrast the juxtaposition from how he handled his post-game press conference after his first preseason action versus Shedeur.
In the meantime, Dillon Gabriel is in full damage control mode. He's now trying to walk back his statements about Shedeur Sanders, brushing them off as a simple miscommunication. But let's be honest, was it really just a misunderstanding? His words were sharp, intentional, and left little room for interpretation. Gabriel took his shots, and now that the backlash has hit hard, he's scrambling to soften the blow. This is where things get interesting, because it highlights the clear difference between being a true competitor and simply putting on a performance. And that's exactly where the narrative around this quarterback battle begins to change.
Just throw it away. Don't force anything, on a keeper. And felt like, there's just miscommunication on my part and something that we got to clean up. But I will, and we'll make sure of that. Yeah, just miscommunication as well. I got to be better there to help each other out on one that, knowing exactly where the launch point is. And that's something that'll be corrected and fixed as soon as possible.
Chris Canty wasted no time weighing in on the situation, directly linking Dillon Gabriel's entertainer comment to that memorable jab from Oregon's coach when they faced Colorado, the one about the team only playing for clicks. At that time, Shedeur Sanders was at the center of it all, leading Colorado, and now Gabriel's words echo almost the exact same tone. Canty made it clear this wasn't just an innocent slip-up. It fits into a larger pattern. And no matter how much Gabriel tries to spin it as nothing, the intent behind his remarks is hard to ignore. His backtracking feels hollow, and fans can see right through it. That's why the movement for Shedeur Sanders to finally get the starting role is only gaining more momentum with each passing day.
Oh, absolutely. How could it not go to that place? I mean, remember, we had his former head coach, Dan Lanning at Oregon, give the pregame speech where he was just talking about how Colorado was doing it for clicks and they were trying to do it for wins. Remember, Shedeur Sanders being the quarterback for the Colorado Buffaloes, his dad being Coach Prime. It gave shades of that when I initially...
Shannon Sharpe didn't hold back either, making it clear he wasn't buying Dillon Gabriel's excuse. He completely dismissed the idea that Gabriel's words were being misunderstood, saying too many people were trying to twist the meaning when the message was already obvious. In Sharpe's view, the comment was deliberate, targeted, and there's no way to disguise it now. No amount of backpedaling can erase what was said. To make his case stronger, he pointed to a nearly identical situation from last season, when Oregon's head coach publicly took a shot at Colorado, using almost the same tone and language. And just like this time, the focus was squarely on Shedeur Sanders. The twist? Oregon's quarterback back then was none other than Dillon Gabriel himself, putting him right in the middle of the very same kind of controversy.
Are the entertainers and a competitor, and he's a competitor, and he wasn't taking a shot at Shedeur, but the damage was done. Everybody knows what he meant by that, because you know why? I'm gonna let you take off. You remember at Oregon, what the head coach said when they played Colorado?
Right.
Who was the quarterback?
Yeah.
Who was the quarterback?
Okay.
Chris Canty didn't back down either. He doubled down on Gabriel's remarks and called them out directly. In his view, Gabriel was clearly taking veiled shots at Shedeur Sanders while trying to hide behind excuses. And even if you try to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he was addressing the media, Canty questioned what that even proves. The media has a role to play, covering, analyzing, and critiquing, while the players are supposed to deliver on the field. That's the balance that drives sports forward. By twisting the conversation into something else, Gabriel only hurt his own credibility. Canty even argued that Gabriel's excuse made him look weaker because it crumbled the second you really examined it. Now the tide is turning even more. The media itself is beginning to side with the fans, joining the growing calls for Shedeur Sanders to climb up the depth chart and finally get his shot.
Are the entertainers and a competitor, and he's a competitor, and he wasn't taking a shot at Shedeur, but the damage was done. Everybody knows what he meant by that, because you know why? I'm gonna let you take off. You remember at Oregon, what the head coach said when they played Colorado?
Right.
Who was the quarterback?
Yeah.
Who was the quarterback?
Okay.
At this point, the situation with the Browns has gone beyond just a quarterback competition. It's turned into a full-blown debate about leadership, accountability, and direction. Dillon Gabriel's mistakes on the field and his questionable comments off it have only deepened the cracks. while Shedeur Sanders has quickly become the player fans and analysts alike are rallying behind. The comparisons aren't just about stats anymore. They're about presence, maturity, and the ability to handle the spotlight. Gabriel's attempts to backtrack have only made him look more uncertain, while Shedeur continues to rise in credibility without even saying much. Kevin Stfansky now finds himself at a crossroads. The more he avoids giving a straight answer, the more pressure builds. Fans see through the stalling. Analysts are openly siding with Shedeur, and even the media is beginning to amplify the push for change. The Browns can no longer treat this as background noise. It's front and center, and the demand for action is only growing louder. So the real question becomes, how long can Stfansky hold off before making a move? Because if Shedeur Sanders truly is the future, every delay only risks losing the faith of both the locker room and the fan base. But what do you think about all this? Has Dillon Gabriel already lost the trust of the fans and media? Or does he still deserve more time to prove himself? Do you believe Kevin Stfansky is genuinely weighing his options? Or is he just delaying the inevitable decision to give Shedeur Sanders the starting role? And most importantly, do you think Shedeur is ready to take over and lead this team right now? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your take on this quarterback controversy.